Well, hello, everybody. This is Goldfinger for the Goldfinger Minute. And today I have a special guest from Scotland, a long ways. Hi, Lachlan.
Hello, how are you?
And Lachlan, your last name is
MacLean.
MacLean, okay. Definitely Scottish, okay.
Yeah.
And you go by Lachlan or you go by Mac?
Yes, either or.
Yeah.
For the Philippines, it's easier to introduce myself, I suppose, you know.
Yeah, it took me 3 times on the Lachlan, and then you said, just call me Mac. Well, it's easier because I look at you and I think of food because I'm a foodie. So mac and cheese. So
Yep.
Okay, Mac. Anyway, welcome to the studio and welcome to the Philippines. Have you been here before?
I've been here since, I came first in February this year, but I've had a series of mishaps. So I broke my toe in a gym when one of the weight plates fell on it. So I stayed for about...
You broke your toe, okay.
Yeah, I stayed for 6 weeks. I went to see my son, who was in Bali at the time. And by the time I got to Bali, my toe got infected. So
oh, no.
I thought I'd better go home. But it was a wasted trip because when I got home, they said it was healing. So depending which doctor you spoke to in which country.
So the first time you're here, you didn't have a good experience, unfortunately.
It was okay. I mean, but it was in the first week I was here, so I got my toe bandaged up, and I made the most of it. If the toe hadn't been infected, I would have stayed.
Right.
But I thought I'd better be on the safe side and go home.
All right, that sounds like a good idea.
I came back out 6 weeks later back to Dumaguete. Stayed probably for another maybe 6 weeks. It was the start of the rainy season, the wet season. So I had planned on going to Manila and North Luzon to a village called Vigan, which is like a Spanish colonial village.
Okay.
But by the time I got to Manila, it was pouring rain, and I had some infected insect bites, like, I don't know, was it mosquito bites or cockroach bites, but they were the size of golf balls. So,
oh, my gosh.
So
Wow.
It was quite painful to walk around. So in the airport, I decided I was just going to go home.
Now, that was when? How long ago?
That would have been, let me see, February, March, probably around May.
Of this year?
Yeah.
All right.
I got home, and within an hour of arriving back, I regretted it.
You regretted going back? Why?
Because
I have a lot of questions here.
Yeah.
Why did you regret going back to Scotland?
Because it was a spur of the moment decision to come back, because I'm quite impetuous. So I probably shouldn't. I should have given it more thought than I did, but. It was just, the weather was okay, unusually for Scotland, for the first few days, but then overcast and raining.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, it was back to Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds like a movie.
Yeah. And it was probably a blessing in disguise I did go back, though, because my electric company were changing meters, and you had to. It was because the BBC is like a broadcast company, TV broadcast.
BBC,
yeah, but they also do the airwaves. So there were the radio waves. So they were cancelling some areas, I think, and the Highlands was one of them. So we had to have a new meter installed, otherwise you wouldn't get it could affect your electricity. I don't know if you would have been cut off.
So wait a minute, the BBC, which is a news station, right?
Yeah.
Has affect your electrical meter.
Because they operate the airwave, the radio waves.
And that's how they pick up the
electric
they're
signals.
scanning it by radio waves. Okay, I got it.
So
So that's how they bill you, okay.
So that was the only positive I could think of.
Now, how long does it take you to get back to Scotland from here?
Including stopovers, it takes 3 days.
Oh, my God.
It's about...
Oh, my God. And you've done this multiple times.
I've done it 3 times, but...
how can you deal with that? Are you serious? 3 days?
Yeah, well, yes, because that's including the stopovers.
How long are stopovers?
It depends which airline you use. It can be 7 hours or it can be
Don't
2
you
hours.
search out what would be the shortest flight you could get?
I go for the cheapest.
You go for the cheapest?
I'm a true Scot. I go for the cheapest.
All right. Well, maybe, I don't know. It's my opinion. It's sometimes the cheapest isn't the best.
No, I found that out to my cost. But I got my daughter. I'm not great with technology, so I got my daughter to book my flight first time out, and it was with Saudi Airlines. Now, I thought Saudi Airlines would be the equivalent to something like Emirates, but it's really not. It's like some old 70s plane they use. It's for itinerant workers.
Doesn't even sound safe. Okay. Yeah. I would take anything that had the first word Saudi in it, to be honest with you.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I thought because it was the Middle East, maybe...
That's another reason why I wouldn't use them. But, okay.
Whatever they spend their oil money on, it's not their crappy airlines anyway.
It's not the airlines, okay. No. Well, was it prop or jet?
Yeah. And what's the other one? I got, the last time I came out, this time round, I flew with China Air. Uh-huh. Now, there's Chinese Airlines, which is supposed to be pretty good. Now,
but not the one you had.
But not the one I got, because my son booked this one for me this time round. And
you've had some atrocious experience, not only getting here and going home, but also when you've been here, you've had 2 times that you struck out. Okay.
Well, thankfully this time, the worst I've had is insect bites again. I had to go to Silliman to get antibiotics. I was telling you the other day. But it was like mosquito bites or cockroach bites. They were pretty big. So I'm thinking it was a cockroach bite I got. But generally...
you're saying cockroach.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be hard for I don't know, for me to understand. We call it cockroach.
Right.
What do you call it?
Oh, I thought cockroach.
It's the accent.
It's the accent, right.
It's the accent, okay. I was thinking of caco. What's a caco?
Right, no, yeah. So... this time round, I've been okay, because the last time I got really sick with food poisoning. It was like really.
Wait, why do you keep coming back? I'm sorry, but you've had such bad experiences. I'm surprised you're still a trooper.
Because I'm generally quite a positive person.
Yeah.
And I always think the negatives will pass into positives soon.
Okay,
you're So I try to be upbeat
you have high
about
hopes.
things. Yeah, but this time round, apart from the mishap with the insect bites, it's been pretty much smooth sailing. Yeah.
All right. So I gave you the ebook, right?
You gave me the ebook.
You met me because you saw my sign out on the road.
Yeah.
And you don't ride a bike yourself, a scooter.
I don't. My girlfriend does, but
we sat down and spoke for an hour or so. You visited. Was it yesterday or the day before, something like that?
I think it was Friday, Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, and so a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you don't have to go to a doctor in order to get antibiotics here, and I think I told you about that. But you do if you wanted them to take care of the wound itself.
Well, I went to 2 separate pharmacies, and they both said you need to get a doctor.
Yeah. Okay. I could tell you. I did tell you. All right. So you've. Okay. Now, how long are you here for this trip?
I am here till. Let me see. When am I going back? October the 23rd.
So you're here for a little bit.
Yeah, and I've been here maybe 5 weeks already.
And why Dumaguete?
Probably because of you guys and your blogging.
Don't blame me. Blame Paul, old dog.
Paul.
Yeah.
There's a guy I used to watch. Well, there's about maybe 4 or 5 guys I watch. One's an English guy, Simon, Speaking of Asia, his channel's called. I watch Mike's Philippine Retirement, your channel, Paul's. I'm trying to think of... I sometimes
probably
watch...
Geo.
I've seen some of Geo's stuff.
Filipina P is very popular.
Yeah. I've seen most of them, but there's maybe about four or 5 I'll watch regularly. And there's... Also, I've been to Cambodia before, and that's what I was planning this time round. But because the Philippines, the Philippines YouTubers had links to the Cambodian ones. Out of curiosity, I looked on their your channels.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I've been to Cambodia about 3 times before. I haven't been to the Philippines before.
So you like traveling, obviously.
Yeah, I got married young, had kids, so I didn't have the money back then. When I turned 40, I was able to afford to go traveling. So maybe every year or so, every couple of years, I'll go somewhere.
Okay. Are you still working?
I cashed in some work pensions. I'm 55, so I'm too young to retire.
Okay.
You don't get the state pension in the UK till 67.
Okay.
So I've still got another 12 years. But with the private pensions I've cashed, it gives me enough to take 2 years out. I'm going to go back in October, start looking for work, maybe save again for 6 months to a year, and do the same. Take maybe a year out.
You like traveling, yeah.
Yeah, take a year out.
Have you been? Have you been to, let's say, Vietnam?
I've been to Vietnam,
Thailand.
Yes, I've been to both. I've been to Laos as well.
All right, very nice.
So
you are a traveler.
Yeah, but English was a big seller for me for the Philippines.
Right.
As Cambodia is, they speak excellent English in Cambodia. And they also use the American dollar alongside the Cambodian riel. So it's easy to work out the money.
What type of money do they use? Are they using euro in Scotland, or what are they using?
No, they use the UK pound.
Okay, they're still on a pound.
But we've got, in Scotland, we've got our own banknotes, but that's called retail banking. So it's like the banks issue their own currencies.
Really?
Their own money, yeah.
The banks issue their
own banknotes.
Is it backed by anything?
It's not.
I'm going to open a bank in Scotland. I'm just going to create my own Goldfinger money. I mean, shoot. It'll be a little gold paper.
It was because maybe a couple of hundred years ago, banks through the UK were allowed to issue their own banknotes. But because a lot of banks went bust.
I would imagine so. It's good business to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
A bank could go bankrupt and
out
create their own money, and then they abscond with it.
Yeah, but the 3 or 4 of the Scottish banks managed to hold their own, and they kept the retail notes. So
but they don't back it. They don't back their currency, because currency is just written notes.
It's governed by the Bank of England, because we're still in the UK. Scotland has its own government, but it would be like equivalent maybe to a state government in the US.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a first minister, which I suppose would be a governor. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So it's got its own parliament, and we do have our own laws. We're in charge of health and transport.
So how do you know if a bank is going to be stable or not in the future?
Well, you don't.
I take it you put your pounds in, but they give you paper back.
Yeah, I mean, it's be like banks in America, because at the time, you remember the 2008 crash? I think the
US has had several, but yeah.
Well, there was a big crash in 2008, and that's because the Royal Bank of Scotland was one of the biggest banks in the world at the time. They bought bad debt from American banks and a Dutch bank.
Okay.
And it was negative equity, I think. Anyway, when the financial crash came, they were really badly burnt, as all the banks in the UK were. So they got a government bailout. So, I mean, but the banking system's generally pretty safe because it's backed up by the government.
Okay. Well, we'll move on from there, but I think I'll open up my own Goldfinger bank.
Goldfinger Bank.
Yeah. And I'll create gold money.
Yeah.
All right. Gold-looking money on gold plastic, paper.
Yep.
And say good as gold, but it has no gold to back it.
Well, all it is a promise to pay. So.
Yeah, that's it. It's all it is a promise to pay.
Yeah.
Same as the U.S. dollars in most currencies.
When I was in Cambodia, I came across a $2 bill, which is quite unusual, I believe.
In the U.S., they do make $2 bills now.
Yeah.
Okay. They have an older type, and they have a newer type, and that's a whole other story.
Right.
Some of the older ones and some of the crisp new ones, certain dates, years, or types are more valuable as to collectors, especially misprints or things like that. But I mean, we've had a dollar coin also, which I don't think they're even producing anymore, but they're still in circulation. But typically a dollar is going to be a paper now.
Right.
And I'm not sure if they're making the Sacagawea. It's a Indian person of native Indian of America,
right.
American native Indian. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Sacagawea, something like that. And that didn't go over very well. People don't like coins in their pockets, and they'd be confused between the different coins.
We have a lot of coins in the UK.
Yeah. I think all countries are going to get rid of paper money and coins because for several reasons. First of all, it's very expensive to make coins and paper, okay? And the other thing is it's very easy to hide or sell things of counterfeit or illegals and be paid in paper or coins.
Yeah.
And so eventually they'll have their own cryptos.
I think it's a dangerous road to go down because the banks will decide the cost of everything. Because
plus they get taxed. They can't tax things that are dealt with in barter or cash, okay, cash under the table. So they can't tax it. They want to tax everything because that's how they make their money, a lot of government. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The future, I don't see money being around in 10 years. There won't be money around in 10 years.
I've found debit cards quite easy to use here. I mean, on some of the channels they say bring cash, but most of the maybe newer establishments or chains all deal with debit cards.
Yeah. Well, I know in China that they use actually facial recognition to pay for things, and they have many cameras, like millions of cameras. And they limit you based on your credit ability or score or your social level as to whether you could take a bus or not, and what you could work, where you could work, things like that. So it's starting. That's pretty getting regular. It's almost
state.
But then again, it's communistic. That's what it is. And it's just totally. Anyway, we're not going to go into politics. Politics is a whole other subject. All right, so. When you do work, what do you work at? What is your type job?
Well, for the last, 25 years, I've been in care work. So that's from working with alcoholics to the homeless, mental health, learning disabilities, and autistic people in different fields, but the same issues keep cropping up. Prior to that, I worked offshore in an oil rig for a while.
Okay, that's why it probably pays pretty good.
The pay was okay. It's maybe not as good as people think, but it was above average. It was above average. It was just a roustabout job I was doing. I worked in an oil rig fabrication yard that makes the oil rigs in Nig in Scotland.
Do you actually fabricate, or do you do
no?
office work?
I had some different jobs. I was a labourer to some scaffolders. I was a janitor on the rig cleaning up. Then I operated the hoist, like a big cage up the leg,
Oh, wow,
I was a hoist operator. So that lasted about 2 years. It's mostly labouring work. Also, in my sort of early teenage years, I would always try and get work that had accommodation. So hospitality, hotel work.
So it's just different.
Just whatever's
jobs,
going. Yeah.
But now you had mentioned earlier about children and a wife.
Yeah. Well, ex-wife, thankfully.
that was my next question.
Yeah.
So you've been divorced for how long now?
Oh, years. I got married when I was 21. Separated when I was 24. I think the divorce came along a few years later because she was being a bit awkward about it. She left me for someone else, so it was. But the children were very young then.
Okay.
But I kept in contact. I would have them at weekends and things.
Do they have the same thing where you have to have child support or?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
so you had to support the children and the ex-wife until she got married.
Yes, until the kids were of working age.
Did you have to also pay alimony to the wife?
No, it was
until she found someone else. Or?
No, there's a thing in Scotland, an agency called the Child Support Agency.
So it's just children you support.
Yeah, and they determine how much you pay. But I had an informal agreement, but it worked out that I would have been far cheaper to go through the agency. But because I wanted my kids to have a decent standard of life, they got
better. That's
they
good
got maybe a quarter of whatever my wages were.
Do you still see your children?
Oh yeah, I mean,
you did mention your daughter books your flights, so
yeah, I'm in touch with both of them. My son works out in Taiwan, and he works for 5-week periods, and then he has 5 weeks off.
Oh, okay, very good. Why Taiwan?
Because he's a health and safety manager for Siemens. And they've got a big renewable plant, the windmills. So he's kind of in charge of that. So it's a really good job. On his time off, he would go to Bali because if he stays more than 90 days in the UK, his tax goes sky high.
If he stays away?
If he stays... Or if he's in the UK for more than 90 days.
If he's in the UK for more than 90 days.
His tax rate goes way up.
But he's in Taiwan.
He works in Taiwan for half the year.
Why would he be going to the UK?
He lives in the UK.
He lives in the UK.
Yeah, he lives, although I'm Scottish and my kids were brought up in Scotland, both of them live in England now.
Oh, okay.
My son lives in Manchester. And my daughter lives in London.
Okay. Now, what does he lose from the UK? He loses medical benefits or he loses his retirement?
No, it's... he pays his national insurance. There's different tax systems. So he doesn't pay as much income tax because he's self-employed. But he pays more national insurance.
He's an independent contractor.
Yeah, but if he is resident in the UK for more than 90 days in the 1 year, his tax rate will go up.
Oh, okay, his tax rate rises.
But I think he's now going to pay more tax because he's renting a place in Manchester now.
Why live in the UK then? I don't understand.
He's got friends in the UK and his family's in the UK, so...
What about Scotland? What happened to Scotland? Doesn't he have family or friends in Scotland?
Well, Scotland's part of the UK, but
Maybe that's where I was confused. I didn't realize Scotland was part of the UK.
Yeah. It's a bit of a contentious issue because half the country wants to be independent and the other half wants to stay in the UK.
Okay.
So anyway, I live in the Highlands and his mother lives in the Highlands also.
Okay.
Are you still different towns?
Are you still in good communications with her? Not so much.
Not really. I mean, we don't see each other, so it's not an issue. But we both went to his graduation a couple of years ago.
Good.
And it was a bit fractious, But the mother-in-law came as well, and she's a perfectly nice woman, So
that's good.
She was like a buffer between us,
Oh, really? Very nice. That's not normal usually.
I got on really well with the mother-in-law. She's a lovely woman.
Usually the mother-in-laws are really tough on the
son-in-laws.
We've
had our issues, like when the kids were very small, but they're a very close-knit family. So whereas my family would kind of let you go your own way, they keep in contact, but kind of not as... They live in each other's pockets, really.
Are your parents alive still?
No, they both died by the time I was 30.
Oh, they died fairly young.
Yeah. They were in their... My father would have been 44 when I was born. My mother would have been in her late 30s. The lifestyle, he was a drinker and a heavy smoker.
Okay.
So... If he had a different lifestyle, he would have lived longer.
Okay.
He died when he was in his early 70s.
Okay.
My mother died at 69. But just one of those things. I would have liked to have had longer with them, rather to see, to find out more about their lives, because when you're young, you're only interested in yourself.
So I take it you're aware of that and you're eating healthier.
I'm trying to eat healthier. I'm failing miserably in the Philippines.
Why? Wait. Why are you feeling miserable in the Philippines?
Well, because I
fried food or sugar, or what's the problem?
Probably sugar. I don't particularly like the Filipino diet, but there's so much Western food here, it's not an issue.
You've been to Vietnam. Vietnam has excellent food. Have you been to Thailand as
well?
I
got bad food poisoning in Vietnam.
Well, that's just because of where you ate. That's kind of, you could get that anywhere.
But again, Vietnam, you could find Western places. I'm not very keen on spicy food, very spicy food.
Oh, is it spicy in Vietnam?
Yeah. Not really. In Thailand, the food's quite spicy.
Taiwan can be very spicy.
Thailand.
Thailand? Thailand can be very spicy as well. So Thailand is spicy. I've been to Thailand as well. It's good food, but you got to tell them to calm down on the heat. It's strong. Sometimes they have soups there. I can't even. Burns my mouth, burns my lips.
There's a great little Indian just parallel to downtown. It's called Spicy something. Spicy Indian.
Yeah.
I go there a lot, and I have a chicken korma. Now, chicken korma in the UK is very mild and bland, but here it can be quite spicy. So they ask you how spicy you want it.
Not spicy.
Not spicy, yeah. Out of all the places I've been to, I think the Philippines is probably my favourite.
Oh, really?
Cambodia coming a close second. There's more scams going on in Cambodia than there is here.
Really? More scams?
Yeah, street scams. A common one is you'll see like a mother with a kid that looks doped up and an empty milk bottle, a baby's bottle. And they'll say, "Oh, I don't want money. Can you buy me some milk powder?" But the milk powder comes from a Korean-run shop. So you buy the powder for $10, $14, whatever the price is. You go out of the shop, go your own way, and then the woman will return to the shop with the unopened can and maybe get 50 cents or $1 from the Korean.
So they have a scam with the store as
it's
part
all
of the scam.
Playing on your emotions because of the poverty out there.
They don't want money; they want food for their baby.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they turn that into money again.
Yeah.
And basically, that's pretty bad.
And another
pretty sad.
Common scam is somebody will approach you in the street and say, "Where are you from?" So I'll say I'm from Scotland, and they'll say, "Oh, my cousin or my sister is going to study there in Glasgow. Can you come round and tell her?" Now, if I said I was from Sweden, it'd be she's from Stockholm, or States, it's from Texas, you know?
Right.
So,
at least they're smarter about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
how's the scam work?
Well, the scam is, now in my head, I thought, I wonder what's going on here, but I'll be friendly. So they said, come round to the house. So you go round to the house, and you're still thinking, yeah, I'm going to be wise to this.
Watch your back.
But they set out like a cold buffet. And I thought, that's very nice of them. And then the guy I was speaking to disappeared. Then this older guy comes through and introduces himself as a croupier in a cruise ship. Works in the casino. And he said that he's driving this woman around from Malaysia, but he doesn't like her. And he's going to have a card game. And he's going to try and get money off this woman. And I'm thinking, this is weird.
It's starting to go sideways.
So anyway, it's a card scam. So you go in, you play your cards, they take the money off you, and then they disappear. So they took money off me. I mean, it all happened in a blur. It was really quick. So I gave him money, and he said, come on, give me money, putting pressure on. I handed the money over, thinking, right. And then he said, she's got to go back to her hotel. So she took the money and took off. So I said, I'm not leaving here till I got my money back, you know. And he went, oh, right. So he was a bit kind of bewildered. So he made a couple of phone calls. She came back and handed my money back over.
Did she really?
Yeah.
I see. I'm surprised you didn't say something like, I don't know who she is or where she is. I can't reach her.
Well, I made it quite clear. I said, I'm not leaving this place till I get my money back, you know. I couldn't believe how stupid I was to fall for it, but it was so...
Well, if there are good talkers, how much money are we talking about?
It was like $70 US.
All right.
So, I mean, it's just what I pulled out of my wallet at the time. It was so, because I was priming myself for kind of... I didn't know, was it a scam? I didn't know who was getting scammed. Was it the woman or was it me? And then This was in Phnom Penh, the capital. When I got to Siem Reap, where Angkor Wat is, the big tourist area, I got friendly with an American guy, and we went out. I don't drink, but we went out to a bar, and I was telling him this, and he said, "Yeah, the same thing happened to me." But he handed over something like $20 and said, "Okay, that's it." Or they stung him maybe a different way, saying it was going to be a charity, or they showed him pictures of an orphanage. But it was a scam, but a similar scam. He was approached by saying, "Where are you from?" And then they say, "My relative's going to be in this city whenever," So
that was their foot in the door.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be. You don't get scammed here. You might get ripped off by the tricycle drivers, but that's part of the course,
Well, that's like taxi drivers back home. Yeah. They'll take the long way, or they'll ask you for more money. But after you've been here for a while, you know how much you should pay and whether you're being taken advantage of or not. But that's true in probably every country, especially for tourists. Okay, I know in Paris it's pretty bad too. So you learn. You've traveled enough. You're going to learn. And
that was the first time. It was the first time I'd been out of Europe, and everything was new. But it's a misleading place. I mean, there's more poverty in Cambodia than there is in the Philippines that you see.
Wow.
But the infrastructure in Cambodia was pretty good. They had top-class hotels. They would have kind of McDonald's and maybe, I can't remember if they had shopping malls. It's more like open-air markets.
Open-air markets, yeah. They don't build big buildings. They rent them out, stalls. And they rent out stalls in an open-air, single floor. There
was a beautiful beach resort called Chinookville, named after the old king. Now, the first time I went, I thought it was paradise. It was like a backpacking kind of place. Drew in alternative kind of people, hippies, bikers.
Oh, okay.
So it was a really good scene. It had beach bars. I loved it there. Second time I went, it was unrecognisable.
Really?
The Chinese had bought it over, more or less flattened it, threw up loads of casinos.
Oh, wow.
But then during COVID, they pulled out. Now it's like a ghost town.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't that the buildings had changed. They changed businesses and it was the same buildings. They'd bulldozed the place. The buildings weren't there anymore.
Wow.
So it was a real shame. I mean, and the Cambodians hate the Chinese for that because they're taking over the country.
Yeah, well, they're taking over the world, but that's another story. Again, we're going to go into politics.
No, we won't go into politics.
We don't want to go to politics.
It was such an eye-opener and a culture shock to go back to the same place a couple of years later and find out it was demolished.
Yeah.
But
I can say, I'm not going to go there. Yeah. Well, they have 1.4 trillion. I mean, it's a huge country.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people, and they can't survive on their own property or land, so they're wiping out everywhere else. The oceans and countries is the problem.
Saying that, any Chinese I met in Cambodia were very nice. I got this Cambodian guy was again trying to scam me with the where are you from sort of stuff, but I was wise to it then. And the Chinese guy saw what was going on, so he came over to chat to me. The Cambodian got really angry, but the Chinese guy just shrugged. And we both kind of knew what the Cambodian was doing. But
I think I'll make up a country. I'm going to Vietnam in January. I think I'll just make up a country and see if they...
Where are you going in Vietnam?
Ho Chi Minh, Saigon.
All right.
Just for a week.
I went to Hanoi.
Uh-huh.
I liked Hanoi. It was quite easy to get around. But that was another story. I got a return ticket from the UK to Bangkok. From Bangkok, I went to this. They call it tourist information, but it's a travel agency.
Okay.
So I got
in Bangkok.
Yeah. So I got signed up by it was the taxi driver in the hotel. It was his cousin's place, so he took me around there. Anyway, signed me up for this trip, and the trip included Cambodia, Vietnam, and then back to Bangkok.
Oh, okay.
But unfortunately, they put me on the wrong plane. So I was...
oh, why?
In Siem Reap, I was at the airport in Siem Reap, and it was meant to go to Hanoi. So I sit down, I get boarded. I'm sitting next to this Vietnamese guy, and just to make conversation, I said, I wonder how long it'll take to get to Hanoi. And he said, we're not going to Hanoi, we're going to Ho Chi Minh. So I had to get up, disembark.
Oh, my gosh.
And get my...
Oh, you were already in the plane?
I was on the plane.
Oh, my gosh.
So thank God it hadn't taken off. Because then I went to I went to the check-in desk again to say, look, got the wrong ticket here. And they said, well, you'll need to sort that with the travel agent.
It's non-refundable.
It was like $200. So that cut into my budget. So I went from thinking I was going to go to a 4 or 5 star hotel to a $6 a night backstreet place, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I went. Hanoi was okay, but I went to what's the place? Hanoi Bay, Halong Bay. You know where the big chalk islands are.
Okay.
So that kind of saved my trip to Vietnam.
Yeah, I think I would have just stayed at Ho Chi Minh. I would have gone there since I'm already on the plane and just figured, okay, well, it would have meant getting back to... Because if you go back off the plane, they're not going to refund you because that plane's taken off, so that trip was booked.
When I got to Bangkok, they refunded my money there.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But the trouble, I thought about that, but then the trouble was I would have had to get back to Hanoi because that's where my return flight was from.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they got the return flight. But you could always go from, I don't know how far it is. Cause
it's quite a distance, I think. Yeah.
Ho Chi Minh to Hanoi, you could travel and then catch the flight back, depending on how many days it is.
I think Ho Chi Minh's the south of the country, and Hanoi's like more to the further north.
That's part of the adventure.
Yeah, yeah. So that was it. Laos was nice. It was like you'd imagine, I don't know, Thailand to be 50 years ago. Very relaxed.
Yeah.
So, but they've got very, very strange rules. Laos still communist.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to phrase it properly, if you're found with a lady in Laos and you're not married, you can get jail time for it.
Oh, okay.
So
in Laos.
In Laos,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But it was nice. It's a good place to go to chill out.
Well, I already have a fiancé here. I'm not going to look for girls.
No,
okay, I'm not interested in girls, and I'm not really into history. I'm not really into churches or historical sites.
There's what they call the Plain of Jars, which is like a field with old stone jars throughout, but there's not really an awful lot of temples in Laos. It's more
And
Cambodia.
I don't like tourist things, so I never join tourist trips like by bus or stuff with a bunch of other people that are lost. Okay, I rather just walk the streets and enjoy I'm a foodie, so I enjoy the food, and I understand they have very good soup there. I think they call it bo or something like that, and the egg coffee that they have, and check out the restaurants and the stores. Right. And since I don't speak Vietnamese, I probably will have a little difficult time because they don't speak much English.
Me, I don't know. I mean, I got by okay in Hanoi, but then...
I have Google Translate, and I'll have to buy... unless I have Wi-Fi, I'll have to buy a SIM card and some
I think you'll
data.
be okay. Like the hotels, I think the staff can all speak English there. But
probably.
But I was impressed with the place I stayed. It was cheap. I mean, it was okay. It was fine. But there
I
was
think everything is inexpensive in Vietnam, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's all pretty cheap there.
Yeah.
But they kind of, sometimes they'll take the American dollar too. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
they'll give you probably a terrible exchange rate.
You feel like a millionaire. I mean, you've got wads and wads of cash, and it's only worth about $20. You know?
I went to the local exchange in the mall here, and I said, I'm going to Vietnam, and I probably should take more than $10,000. And she looked at me, she goes, and I says, I don't really need that much. How much do I need for a week? She says, a few million. I go, a few million?
Dong.
I said, a few million. I'm like, holy moly, I thought it was cheap there. She says, no. She says, we can sell you $3.3 million dong for, I think it was like $200 or something like that. $205.
Cheap. It's cheaper than.
I said, "Oh, okay." I says, "How long will that last?" She says, "Well, that'll last you a couple days. It'll get you started and last you a few days, but not the whole week."
Yeah.
But I said, "That's fine."
I'd say it's probably cheaper than the Philippines.
Because I have to pay the hotel when I get there in dong. They don't, or a card. I imagine my bank here will transfer it, or my bank in the States will do the exchange rate. But it's always better not to let your bank do the exchange rate, in my opinion. I like doing it myself and learning the money. I like the food. I like the money. I'm into the culture, but not the history.
Well, in Hanoi, they've got Ho Chi Minh's body lying in state. So I went round to see that, but it was weird. It was like looking at a hologram. You know, it was strange.
That's strange. That sounds strange.
It was it looked like half the Vietnamese army was there. It was really heavily guarded.
Now, how are you getting around here? Because you didn't rent a bike, you don't have a car.
I don't have a car. If the weather's not too hot or if it's not raining, I'll walk.
Well, we're in tsunami weather, or not tsunami, but typhoon weather here.
Yeah.
So you're kind of in a wet season right
now. Yeah, I've been quite lucky with the weather. I walk a lot. I didn't want to be late today, so I took a tricycle here. If I'm going out of town, I'll take a service bus or a jeepney, but the jeepneys aren't really built for Westerners. It's more the Filipino.
It's very expensive. I bet on jeepneys.
Yeah, but
like 10 pesos.
You get. I was informed you get two. You get the big jeepneys, and the small ones are called easy rides.
Okay.
It's like a converted van. You know,
right, yeah,
they're difficult to get in and out of. But I stood in the back of one, which was
just
a bit holding on
for dear life.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hair-raising experience. But
well, you got to get up to Valencia. Valencia is going to be difficult.
I go to Valencia quite often.
So you go to Valencia quite often?
I met Paul for breakfast there a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Have you been to a forest camp or?
I've been to forest camp, not this time around. The last time I was here.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yeah,
and there's also Casaro Falls, but you cannot take a trike to Casaro Falls because it's too steep to get up the mountain.
You know, he's quite a well-known character here, Sebastian, the Australian guy. He took me on a tour one day.
Oh, very nice.
He borrowed his friend's minivan, and his girlfriend Jenny kind of navigated it. He was the driver.
Yeah.
And we went to a couple of resorts, and he took me way up in the mountain in Dowan to a place called Tokamak. Now, it's owned by the guy that has Why Not. It's like a luxury resort with plunge pools in the rooms.
In the rooms they have pools. Yeah.
And they've got a nice little restaurant. But it's just a place you would go to chill out because it's miles from anywhere, miles up the mountain, you know. But it's worth going to.
So he was your tour guide?
He was my tour guide.
Okay.
He's quite a character. So
yeah.
It's an enjoyable day.
I haven't seen Sebastian in a long time.
Yeah.
I guess he's still in town somewhere.
I think he tends to hang out in Valencia more now. He says he doesn't really like coming down to Dumaguete.
All right.
You'll find him in the hillside bar.
Which do you like better, Valencia, Dumaguete, or Darwin?
I don't know. I like them all for different reasons.
Right.
And I dislike them all for different reasons.
Right.
What I like about Dumaguete is the choice of restaurants you can go to and the amenities. I hate the traffic.
Well, it's worse than Cebu and Manila.
Yeah. I went to Cebu once. I didn't like it at all.
No.
But
they have great malls in Cebu.
Well,
and great restaurants.
I went there with an ex-girlfriend. The last time I was here, I met somebody else, a whole other story. But
oh, I'm sure they'd love to hear the story about the girls.
Well,
how badly did you get taken with by the girls?
Well, it was weird. With the one I met first time round, she didn't ask me for a peso.
That's a good girl.
Yes,
or a good planner.
She was
a good smart girl or a good girl.
Yeah,
I'm not sure which.
I realised that we didn't really have much in common. I mean, there was an age gap, but I don't think it was
always
that.
An age gap here. Yeah.
She was 30, I'm 55.
That's not a big deal.
No, it wasn't the age gap.
That's only in your mind, by the way, not in the Filipino mind.
Yeah. She had dated 2 Westerners prior to me.
Okay.
And I don't think they hadn't treated her very well in that they both had other women on the side, or there was something along that lines. So she had quite a sort of dim view. She thought all Westerners would eventually cheat. And I said, well, look, I'm not like that. If I don't think things are going to work, I'll let you know and I'll end things. I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm not going to be here that long anyway.
Yeah, it's best to be honest with them, yeah.
I deliberately didn't go on any dating sites before I came out here. I didn't friend anybody up on Facebook.
No.
I just came by myself, didn't know anyone. So I was totally honest with her. It became apparent quite quickly. She had excellent English, but it became apparent we didn't have anything in common. So I tried ending things numerous times. And it reminds me, the Eagles song, Hotel California.
Yeah.
You can check in any time you like, but you can never leave. That's what it felt like, you know.
She's holding on.
Oh, she's holding on. So
making you feel guilty?
Yeah, very guilty, yeah.
Oh.
Next time round, this time round, I came out. Now, the last time I came out, I didn't tell her I was coming. We had ended things. I had ended things.
And you were thankful. It was kind of like owning a boat. You love it when you own it, and you love it when you sell it. Then in between, there's no love.
So anyway, I thought I had ended things with her.
Right.
I was in Scotland. Came out the second time. Didn't tell her I was coming out. Within an hour of me landing, she saw me walking between the Go Hotel and Robinson's Mall. So she sent me a message. I'm 100% sure you're back in Dumaguete. I saw you. And I thought, well, I can't lie. So I said, yes, I am. And she said, right, well, I want to meet up. I said, there's no point. So I was adamant I wasn't going to meet her. Anyway, she stalked me to Cafe Racer one night, plonked herself down. I said, what are you doing here? And she said, I came to see you. I knew this is your favourite place. I said, well, it's not really my favourite place. I come now and again. But prior to going to Cafe Racer, she had been to Henry's Resort because I'd taken her there before as well.
So she figured you're at Henry's.
Yeah. So I told her, look, it's not going to work. Anyway, she bet me down and I couldn't be bothered. So we dated again for a few weeks.
You did?
Yeah, but
backpedaled.
But it wasn't worth the grief. I thought, right. I mean, she anywhere I went, she would turn up.
It just reinstated what your first impression was. Okay, so basically, you're almost going to be back in the same position as how do I get rid of her?
How do I get rid of her? So anyway, we dated again. She would go. She had 2 kids in a place called Bindoy up north in the island.
I don't know.
So anyway, she would go to visit the kids maybe once every few weeks. So she went to visit their kids, and she was messaging me, and I said, oh, look, things really aren't working. We'll leave it. So anyway, her line was, we need to speak face-to-face rather than text because it's too confusing. Her English was perfect, but when she got angry, the messages were all mangled. You didn't have a clue what the hell she meant.
They weren't caps; they were just mangled.
Yeah, it was just like.
It's funny how Americans, when they're angry and they want to be, they're shouting at you, they capitalize the letters as if that's supposed to be shouting.
Yeah, emphasize the point.
Emphasize this. Yeah, they're bad. Okay, it's kind of silly because capital letters don't give you an impression of shouting. It's just that's what they believe in. Yeah. It's silly. Okay.
So anyway, she said, I want to speak to you face to face. So, okay, we spoke, and we met up and we spoke, and I said, look, I thought, how do I get out of this? So I thought, right, I'm going to go to Bohol for a while.
I believe it. Yeah, bye.
Yeah,
she'll leave the country, but
but no, she came. She insisted she come with me. So we went to Bohol. I got very sick in Bohol with food poisoning again.
And she went with you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a glutton for punishment, aren't you?
Well, it was as if she was.
I'm sorry, but
it was as if she was a wart or something that clung on to me. So I couldn't get rid of her.
She's a leech.
Well, yeah,
she's a leech.
I just couldn't get rid of her. And it's a parallel universe, the Philippines.
Oh my God!
Where else would a beautiful 30-year-old be interested in a 55-year-old guy?
Because you can have 50 of them like that. Yeah. I hate to tell you, but the Philippines, there's 20 young girls for every guy.
Well, yeah,
Period.
I mean, there's some bloggers that came on YouTube and said, don't be fooled by what other YouTubers say. It's difficult to find a woman here. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
I find it more difficult to make friends with other expats.
It's more difficult to get rid of them, than to find one.
So, anyway, we went to Bohol. I got sick. She was very good, I'll say that. She went to the pharmacy and
so
stuff
at least
like
she did take care of you when you needed it.
She took care of me.
Well, that's a plus.
If we had something in common, it would be perfect. But we had nothing in common. So I said to her in Bohol, look, I said, I'm sick now, and it's not because I'm sick, but let's just stay friends or whatever. We'll just leave it. We went to Cebu. We shared a room, but we had separate beds. And I said, look, it's staying that way. This is it, you know. I still felt pretty rotten. I was feeling a little better. I managed to get out.
Food poisoning or
I think it was
flu.
No, I think what it was the some places don't use purified water in their ice.
That's right.
And I think got bad ice.
That's one thing you have to be careful about, is because unless they use purified water in their ice, the ice still has the bacteria, and when it thaws, it comes back alive. I don't care what temperature cold they go into. You have to boil it. That's the only way to kill it.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that.
No. So
I've had Filipinos don't realize that. Okay. Even restaurants.
Yeah, I got really bad.
Air conditioning lower.
I was really sick. It was the worst I've got since I've been here. So anyway, in Cebu, I was a little better and managed to go around the malls. But that's all there was that I could see in Cebu.
Well, that's the only place you can walk around and see things, because it's just so crowded and the traffic there, it's very slow to get around.
Yeah. So it was pretty uncomfortable on the return journey because she knew it was over. So that was it.
That's too bad, because Cebu is nice if you're with the right person to travel around with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kept trying to break things off, and I didn't want to hurt her feelings, but you've got to be pretty brutal before they take the message, you know. So she said, well, we can stay friends. And I said, well, okay, we can meet up with each other once a week for a coffee or whatever. But when we met up, she was still trying to edge her way back in.
So basically she has strike three, 2 Americans and a Scottish person.
Yeah, a Norwegian, an American, a Scot.
Oh.
And the weird thing is, I mean, it's such a crazy story, it might be true. Because I had broken things off with her, I went home and I was adamant I wasn't going to see her again. Between me being back in Scotland and coming back here, she was in touch with a Norwegian guy. Now, not a German, beg your pardon. Now, the German was like a ship's pilot, captain.
Oh, okay.
And his crew were Filipino. So she told me she got a wrong number one day with this German thinking he was phoning a Filipino crewmate. But it was her number, and they got chatting. And I thought, that's strange, because most numbers are on your phone now, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, it's not like you have to look up a phone book anymore, a directory.
No.
So anyway, I thought, is that true? Maybe she was online, I don't know, but anyway.
Strange.
So this time round, I came back and I bumped into her, and it seemed like anywhere I went, she was there. Anytime I turned around, she was there. For the first week, I bumped into her quite a lot, and she would say, "Can I come with you wherever you're going?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to say Bahia. I'm going to Bahia for dinner." I said, "Have you already eaten?" And she said, "Yes." So she said, "Well, you don't need to come with me then." And she said, "Yes, but I'll come with you anyway. I'll have a drink." So she had a drink. We chatted. Then, when we come out, she's trying to hold hands. I says, "Look, we're not dating. You need to get into your head, we're not dating." So I ended things. Now, maybe over a week later, I met my current girlfriend. I wasn't looking to meet anyone else. I walked into a bar.
Is this going to be I walked to a bar? Sounds like the start.
It sounds like a joke. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I
one day in Philippines, I walked into a bar and
I go into this. It's like one of these resto bars, but it's you carry on right the way along Hibbard Avenue, the crossroads. You carry on right the way up as far as Silliman Beach.
Uh-huh.
So it's maybe halfway up, 3/4. I looked up this alleyway and I saw murals on the side of a building. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I'll go and have a closer look. So it turned out it was a bar. So big black plate glass doors so you can't see inside. So curiosity, opened the door, went in. No one there. So I was about to turn and go. And this woman she was cleaning out the restroom said, oh, can I help you, sir? And I said, oh, I just wondered if you were open. So we got chatting. And she told me about herself, and I told her about myself. And
was she the bartender? Was she
she's got like
owner?
No, she works there, but she works in the kitchen generally. But she's got multiple jobs in the same place.
I see. Okay.
So she'll
she's like manager.
Yeah, she works. She'll clean the restrooms. She cleans the kitchen. She prepares the meals.
And hopefully washes her hands.
And washes her hands, yeah.
I'm sorry.
So she's very hygienic. So anyway, we got chatting, and she came out with, she said, all Filipinos ask, do you have a girlfriend? And that's not an indication that they're necessarily interested in you. It's more a conversation starter, you know?
Oh, okay.
So
when you say Filipinos, you mean Filipinas?
Well, no, the guys ask as well.
Okay.
I mean, there's
the guys are asking you.
Yeah, the doctor when I broke my toe.
I don't have guys asking me. Okay.
Well, okay. I'll qualify this.
Yeah. Please.
When I broke my toe, I went to Silliman Hospital. And I got it surgically cleaned by a surgeon, a doctor.
Yeah.
Now, he was the same doctor that would treat me, like bandage the foot for outpatients. Whereas a nurse in the West would do that job. It was him that was doing it.
Yeah.
So
there's
anyway,
male nurses. Yeah.
He was cleaning out the toe, and he said, "Oh, do you have a girlfriend or wife?" And I thought he meant to take care of you when you come out of hospital. So I says no, because at the time I didn't. I said no, and he said, "Oh, why not?" I says, "Well, I've just arrived." And he says, "You're not here." He said, "Most foreigners find Filipinos, you know," and then. The assistant
Filipinos or Filipinas?
Filipinas.
Yeah.
So then the nurse chipped in, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this about? I'm here to get my toe seen to, not ask about my personal life. And then the tricycle drivers, the ones that can speak English, will ask. And I don't know if they're going to try and set me up with their cousins or their sisters or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, that was the kind of standard conversation I tend to have, or they have with me. So she told me about herself. She said, she said she was 44. She's a single mother.
Was this at the hospiel or at the bar?
No, this is at the bar, sorry.
This is back at the bar.
So I'm back at the bar.
Okay.
So we're chatting.
Well, what happened with the guy at the hospital? Was he asking you just because he wanted to be personal, or he was just asking questions at the hospital? Was it a doctor or a nurse?
It wasn't pertinent to the medical issue. Okay. It was just seemed to be quizzing me about.
I've never had guys ask me, but okay, that's a little strange.
It was. I think he thought maybe single Westerners are a curiosity.
Okay.
Because in the West, the standard thing is with other people, they've got a very, I think, unfair view of why other Westerners come over here. They think we're all looking for women much younger. You know?
That's what they all think.
Which it wasn't the case for me.
Yeah.
I just came over because it's cheaper and the weather was going to be better. You know.
Okay.
And at the back of my mind, I thought, well, it might be nice if I meet somebody, but I haven't been with anybody in years, so it wasn't a priority.
So what happened to the fair maiden Filipina at the bar?
Right, so she said, we got talking, I don't know if she asked if I had a girlfriend or wife or whatever.
They all do.
But I said no, and she said, all right, and I reciprocated, I said, well, do you? And she said, no, I'm a single mother. That's how I found out. So I thought, right, I thought she's honest.
Yeah, that's fair because a lot of them say I don't have any children.
Yeah.
That just means they don't have any children right now with them.
Yeah.
But the she'll have children, but it's with her mother. Okay. Yeah. And so that means I don't have any children, meaning I don't have any children with me at the moment. But they can have 3 children. Okay.
Right.
That doesn't count.
So
you have to actually ask Filipinos when they say I don't have any children, you've never given birth to a child, because it's different. The way they think is different.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
So we got chatting and I was ready to leave. And she said, do you know many people here? And I said, well, not really. I know of some expats, but no, not really. So she said, well, I finish work at 9 p.m.
Hint, hint.
I can show you around.
Okay.
So I said, okay. So
that's nothing wrong with that. That sounds like a good plan.
I picked her up at 9 o'clock. So I said, well, where do you want to go? Thinking she was wanting to go to some restaurant. Yeah. And she said, Starbucks. So I said, oh, okay, we'll go to Starbucks. I said, why do you want to go to Starbucks?
Yeah, it's not a restaurant. Yeah.
No, she said, I've never been there before.
Okay.
Now, she's only been to maybe McDonald's and Jollibee.
Oh, Jollibee
once or twice.
In a lot of Filipinos that come from the province, Jollibee is a place that they love to go to. They know about it, but they've never been.
Right.
And it's very common for a Filipina province girl that comes here, say a student for school or something of that nature or for work, and you say, where do you want to go? They'll say Jollibee.
Right.
Okay. That's to them is a high, they've never heard of a high-end restaurant. They don't know what it is.
No.
They've never been to Jollibee.
Never been. She'd been to,
so
I think,
she's never been to Starbucks, but that's understandable.
I think she'd either been to either Jollibee's or McDonald's, where her cousin treated her to a meal.
Yeah, typically they won't go to McDonald's because that's definitely American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gives, I later found out she gives all her money practically to her family.
Very
I've been there, they've turned up to tap her for cash. They don't ask for me, and she's never asked me for money. But
very common here, you take care, the oldest child typically takes care of the siblings and of the parents.
Yeah. Well, she's the oldest. She's 44, so she's
that's
older.
Why.
She has 3 children ranging from, I think, 16 to 30. So the oldest 2 are grown up. The son is about 15 or 16.
Is she living with them?
She's living in her parents' house.
Oh, she's still living in her parents' house.
So 2 of her kids. The oldest one's married.
So they live in Dumaguete
in
or
Dumaguete,
outside?
Round about Darrow.
Oh, in Darrow. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we go out and things very formal. You know, she's very traditional Filipino. So we get chatting and she gets her tricycle. She goes home. The next day, I get messages with crying emojis on it. You did not tell me you had a girlfriend. And I thought, what's this all about? The ex-girlfriend had managed to track her down on Facebook.
So she catches you on Facebook on all of your information. So that's why you have to keep your Facebook private.
Well, my Facebook, I'm pretty sure I blocked her, but
she could still look at it through a friend's phone or something.
Right. Well, anyway.
Unless you keep it private.
It's private now.
Yeah, it's private now because you just learned.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyway. The ex had put photos of us together and sent it to Nacelle in her Facebook, the new one.
The new lady.
So,
Nacelle.
I mean, at this point, I wasn't even dating her. We just went out
Man, she
one
really
night.
is stalking you. Okay.
She said, why are you with my boyfriend?
Oh, my God.
We're still together. And I had to tell Nacelle, I said, no, we're not together. I'm having a great difficulty getting rid of her. I said I haven't seen her for like over a week.
Well, that's not a long time for Filipino time.
No, it's not. And what I meant by I haven't seen her, I haven't spoken to her in over a week because this time round, I didn't go anywhere near her. You know, so it didn't end there. We went a walk down the boulevard one night and we saw her in the boulevard. But she didn't come over or approach us. It was fine.
Good.
Then we took a walk round to Robinson's prior to going out for a meal. Robinson's downtown.
Okay.
So we were walking to Robinson's and here she comes the other way, the ex. So she's giving us Stalkers. She walks past me. flips me the bird,
with daggers. Flips you the bird, okay.
Yeah, and walks by. Now, Nacelle is very traditional, shy Filipina. She was really shocked, So I said, that's all I need. And she was really worried, Now, Nacelle's quite tall for a Filipina. She's 5'6".
Well, that is tall, yeah.
The other girl is like 4'10", 4'11", so small but fiery.
Yeah, feisty.
Feisty. So anyway, she passes the entrance to Robinson's. So she walks by all the time, flipping me the bird and scowling. We go into Robinson's. 2 minutes later, she appears in Robinson's, grabs a shopping basket, looks at us, and I'm thinking, this is a nightmare. So
time to leave.
I thought that was it. Then I went to McDonald's earlier. Late last week I went to McDonald's. Now, I don't know. I'm going to get tested when I go home to see if I'm pre-diabetic, because after I have something to eat, I always manage to drop off. I'll have a
nap.
sleep,
Get sleepy. That's not diabetes, but okay.
No. Right. So anyway,
this is growing older.
Right. So anyway, I'm sitting there. Now, when I go in, she's not there. I nod off, I wake up, and I look over. She's sitting in the corner with headphones on. I'm thinking, am I dreaming? So I look up. She's sitting there with headphones on, looking at her phone. And I thought, it might be a coincidence, but it's unlikely.
Okay,
because I was sitting by the window at McDonald's, so she could see me.
I have a question here. At any time, does she have access to your phone? Or could she put her phone on next to your phone?
She did, because I think when we were together, she might have booked a hotel or something.
So she can actually track you.
Oh,
did you know that?
No.
You're really not electronically technical at all. Yeah, you can. If you get close enough to a phone, you can download all the data and information, and also if she has access to your phone, she could put a tracker on your phone, which is in the app, and then she can watch to see where you're going. That's why she keeps showing up.
That would make sense about McDonald's, because I don't have data here, so I use places with free Wi-Fi, but I don't always take my phone out with me. But that would make sense.
I think she's tracking you. Yeah. You're going to have to go into your phone, or have someone go into your phone. You're not going to be able to do it. Have someone technical go in your phone and make sure that she's not tracking you, or something of that nature. Tell them that you have a stalker.
So could I take it to a phone store?
There's one in Robinson's upstairs. They do phone repair. You could pay them to say, hey, I got someone who may be tracking me on my phone, and they seem to have more information than they should have, and they can go through your phone and get rid of whatever they may have put on it.
That's got even more creepy.
I hate to tell you, that does happen, okay?
Yeah, but
that's a little bit unusual here for a Filipina, but it sounds like she keeps showing up where you are.
She keeps showing up.
Yeah, that's too much. It's not coincidental anymore.
No. There was something going on in Bakong. They had some concert for a war hero that the shopping mall's named after. So on that day, this was before I started dating Nacelle. On that day, I was where was I? San Rival at Henry's. Okay. Now, we'd been there a couple of times before. So I'm sitting there, I'm going by on a tricycle, and she's standing outside the Wonder Mall. So I look at her, and at this point we're on reasonable terms, So I kind of gave her a wave, and I just carried on until I got to Henry's. Now, she is very careful with money. She's good with money. She's very smart. So anyway, about 5-10 minutes later, she appears at Henry's at San Rival. So I said to her, what are you doing here? Oh, I had planned to come here anyway. And I said, well, that doesn't ring true, because you wouldn't walk or you wouldn't get a tricycle from Wonder Mall to Henry's. You just walk.
You could walk it. Yeah.
You could walk it.
Yeah.
I think she was waiting on a tricycle to take her back to her apartment. or her room, which is just off the boulevard.
All right.
So we chatted for 10 minutes. I said, look, it's over. You need to realise this.
No, this is for Marcel.
Sorry?
That's for Marcel, I believe you said the name is. That it's over for her?
Yeah.
Or over for...
No, for me. I said...
Well, I meant, this is what you told Marcel.
No, the other girl.
The other girl. What's her name?
Sandy.
Sandy?
So, yeah. So I said to her, look, it's over.
Oh, she's definitely tracking you, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
she's got something on her phone. She knows where you are.
So
okay.
she said, where are you going now? Because I just... 10 minutes, I got up and I was ready to leave. She said, where are you going? I said, it doesn't matter where I'm going, but you're not coming with me.
Oh.
So she said, well, I'm free this afternoon. I said, well, look, you might be, but no, you're not coming with me. So anyway, I went up to Bekong, and I thought that was the last I saw of her. And then she got weird when I met in the cell. It's not like I dumped her to go with someone else.
Now, how long ago was this that you met Marcel?
It was about maybe a week and a half afterwards.
Okay, and are you still seeing her?
Yeah.
Okay. So currently you're seeing Marcel, but you're trying to get rid of Sandy.
Well, I think I finally got rid of her, but she keeps...
Yeah.
Dumaguete is so small, it could be coincidence, but the skeptical side of me thinks it's not.
It's not coincidence anymore. Not at that point, no.
But it was just, I found it weird.
Well, Filipinas could be very aggressive in some cases and very cunning. They're very cunning. So they do follow you on Facebook. They'll follow your friends. Yeah. They'll look at your friends list and they'll start contacting your friends.
I think that's how she found out.
If they're not happy with you, they'll start telling the friends horrible things about you to your friends because they'll get the friends' contacts off your phone.
Well, thankfully, she's never met any of my friends here, but I don't have that many friends here. I've got a couple of guys I know, but I don't have that many people that she knows. But
all right. Well, good luck with Marcel and good luck with Sandy as well.
Well, yeah.
So far with Marcel, it's okay. It's all good.
It's all good there. But there's a girl. Now, she's a nice girl. There's a girl that goes around selling banana bread. And I think every woman in Dumaguete knows each other because between the stalker and Nacelle, I went on one date with this girl, the banana bread.
One date.
One date.
Okay, well now you're a chick boy. Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Not really.
They're gonna plaster you as a chick boy on Facebook because you've dated too many girls too quickly.
It wasn't intentional.
Yeah, but when you're dating one girl here, they expect you not to have eyes for anybody else. So if you're seeing Nacelle, I know you dropped Sandy, but if you're seeing Nacelle and you go on one date,
this was before Nacelle. This was before Nacelle. So it's between the stalker girl and Nacelle.
What's the banana bread's girl's name?
Joy.
Oh boy.
So
anyway, so what happened with Joy?
Well, let me see.
Who's on first? What's on second?
The second time I was here, the day before I was due to fly back to Scotland, I was sitting outside the new Tom and Tom's. And she gets off her bike and starts shouting, banana bread. And I'm thinking she's shouting to
she wants to order banana bread.
No, I'm thinking she's trying to sell the banana bread to the guy in the store in Tom and Tom's. So I just ignore it, and just carry on.
Sounds good
she
right now,
she comes over and says, hello, sir, would you like to buy banana bread? And I says, no. I said, I can't really eat stuff when I'm sitting having a hot chocolate. Have the hot chocolate in Tom and Tom's. So anyway...
Well, you actually can. You can bring in food and drink into a restaurant and sit down here. It's not like back home.
Right, okay.
Okay, and you could have other people's food, and you could buy off the street and have Starbucks or Tom and Tom's coffee and then enjoy banana bread. And you could actually ask them for a plate and a knife, believe it or not.
Right, okay.
They don't. They're not. They're not like well, I don't know how Scotland is, but they're not like America. Yeah. They're not like the West that you can't bring in food or drink.
Yeah. So anyway, she sits down, uninvited, starts chatting away, and again, have you got a girlfriend? And I said no, because I was honest at that time I didn't.
Yeah.
So I said, look, I'm going back to Scotland tomorrow. And she said, well, we can go out tonight. I'll take your number. And I said, I don't have a Filipino SIM. You can have my Facebook. So anyway, something happened. I don't know, was it because I didn't have Wi-Fi, but I didn't get her messages till I got back to Scotland. And she would message me back and forth, and it was fine. And then when I came back here, again, I didn't tell anybody I was coming back. And she messaged me saying, "Oh, I think you're in Dumaguete." And I thought, how do you know that?
Yeah.
But then
because you either put something up on Facebook or...
I don't know, or I might have been
taking a picture.
No, I didn't. I don't put anything up on Facebook, so it wasn't that. I might have been seen around the town, I don't know. But anyway, so she said, she messaged me. I hadn't seen her in person this time round. So she messaged me saying, "Oh, we'll go out." So I took her. We went out to Finbad in Down, and I bought her a meal. And she starts saying very quickly. She says, "Oh, we can be friends, best friends, and you can be my boyfriend." And I'm thinking, "Oh, where's this going?" So I said, "Look," I said, "You're
go very quickly here.
Very, very quickly." I said, "Look, you're a really nice girl." But I used the age thing, okay? It wasn't true.
They don't care.
They don't care. I said, "You're 28, I'm 55. I said...
Means nothing.
I mean, she said, my American boyfriend was 72.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, okay, I can't use that one.
Age it's not like West, okay? It's very different here.
I said, I sussed pretty quick because the conversation would dry up again.
Literally, they'll have a conversation with you, and then they'll get your Facebook or your phone number, and I don't care if it's coffee or a meal. That's it. They're a girlfriend.
Yeah.
They're ready to move in with you.
So I said, "Look,
it's that fast.
We'll be friends, but not boyfriend, girlfriend." I made it really clear. Or I thought I did.
Yeah,
so then,
you thought it did, yeah.
So maybe like a few days later, I met in a cell. So she's still messaging me, "Hi, how are you?" So, but it's not the crazy stalker stuff like the ex. So I'm messaging back and forth. And she said, "Oh, we can go out." And I said, "Well, I've got a girlfriend now. I hope you meet someone soon." But the weird thing...
Because you felt she was too young.
Yeah. Well... It was more that we didn't have anything in common, and the conversation didn't flow.
Okay, maybe she was immature. I don't know.
Maybe she seemed nice, but it was she could speak English, but there was a dearth of conversation. There was nothing to talk about other than the what's your family like, kind of the generic stuff,
Right.
So anyway, that was fine. I told her maybe a week later that I had a girlfriend because I'd met someone. And I said, "I hope you find someone too." And then, like the next day, I get a message saying, "Oh, we can go out. Friends, best friends, boyfriend." And I'm thinking, what? I said, "Well, who's your boyfriend? Have you met someone? Who's your boyfriend?" And she said, "You are." So I said, "No, I'm not. I'm seeing someone else now."
That goes in one ear out the other.
The funniest thing was when I told her, "No, I'm not interested in dating you or seeing you. We can be friends, but I'm not interested in dating you." She said, "Well, do you have any foreigner friends that are single that are looking for someone?"
Moving right along. She's going down the list.
Now, Sideways Bar have what they call a meet and mingle night. It's a singles.
Do they really?
It's a singles night.
I didn't know that.
Well, the UN tried it last Tuesday, but about half a dozen guys turned up, but no women turned up. He's been advertising now. His staff been going down to the boulevard and handing out flyers, and he's advertising on Facebook
for Sideways.
Yeah, for singles night.
What night is that? I'll let my viewers know.
Tomorrow night. Tuesday.
Tuesday night. Okay.
Night. Tonight's their quiz night, but it's Tuesday night.
Okay, how do you know all these? Okay, Sideways, all right.
Sideways. They
have a dart night, they have a karaoke night, they have so many different nights I can't keep track.
But,
okay.
I went along out of curiosity, and it genuinely was because I was meeting the cell at 8 p.m. So I went round, I had a dinner there at 7 because I have to have food with my medication. And I was looking around and thinking, the only women here are the servers, the bar staff.
Yeah.
But it turned out that Joy, the girl with the banana bread, her sister...
Banana bread Joy.
Banana bread Joy. Her sister works in the bar.
Oh, so what's her name? I know the girls that work there.
It's not Marjorie. It's like something like Margie.
Margie, okay.
Yeah, that's Margie's sister.
All right,
okay?
all right. I know. She's been there a long time.
Yeah. And Nacelle's cousin used to work in Sideways. So, I don't know what her Joanne,
okay,
something like that, or I can't remember. I mean, she's got friends and cousins all over the place. So if I was the type, which I'm not, to play around, it would be the worst place possible. You know, if you're a player, don't come to Dumaguete. You'll get caught.
Oh no, they'll play. You can play, but
they'll find out.
Oh yeah, they'll find it. They'll label you as a chick boy, but that doesn't mean anything. They'll take advantage of you. There are girls that want to take advantage of guys anyway. So there's some girls that look for that.
The population's around 140,000, I think.
Is it?
And I was amazed at the connections. You know, the 6 degrees of separation. It's like 2 degrees here.
A lot of younger girls and boys here, but mostly girls, because girls seem to be more interested in schooling and education, and they seem to be smarter than the boys. And we have a lot of, not just Syllabin College, but we have a lot of different colleges here. Medical college and home housekeeping and hotel colleges and criminology college. We have a lot of different colleges here, and it's all young people. They're not older people going. They're young people going. They're young like out of high school or early 20s. And so you not during the day. Certain days they don't go to school, but you just find a lot of girls, and it's mostly girls. If you go to college to see who comes out of it or goes in, it's 85-90% all girls. Right. Very few boys.
But so, I mean, I looked at a couple of guys' videos. There's a guy, Chad Foster, I think. He was saying that Dumaguete is not the best place to meet he found it hard to meet someone. And I'm thinking, you don't need to make any effort whatsoever.
No, not really. You know, go to the mall, go to the sideways, go to the bars, whatever.
I mean, you're a nobody in the West, and you're treated like a movie star here. You know, it's not because of your looks or because of your sparkling
I walk
personality.
In the mall, and I told Carolyn, girls stare at me. Okay, young girls, they stare. I'm not good looking. Okay, I'm old. I'm slightly bald. I'm overweight. Okay, I'm short and stocky. Okay, so definitely more than stocky. And I get these young girls staring at me like they want me to come over there and ask them a question. Okay, but I don't. I'm not interested because we've been together for over 30 months. But it's just weird. It is weird. Because you don't get that in the West at all. I don't know. Probably not.
That's what I was saying. It's like a parallel universe here.
It's very, very different. It's very, very strange here. In fact, someone was walking with me, and they said, "Did you see that girl staring at you?" And I says, "No, I did." And then later, when he walked, he says, "You see that girl staring at you?" I says, "Maybe she was staring at you." He says, "No, she was definitely staring at you and smiling." I says, "I don't even see it because I don't look for it anymore."
Do you get recognized by Filipinos?
Constantly. Both Filipinos and mostly Americans or foreigners.
Because of the YouTube channel?
Well, because I was on Paul's channel for a long time. Right. It's not so much my channel, though I only have like under 6,000 subscribers, so not a lot. But I was on Paul's channel, and Paul's channel has over 107, maybe 110,000. Right. And I was on his channel all the time, and people would recognize me from his channel. But now that I have my own channel, and I still have Paul come over here, and Paul still does videotaping of when I help the children, like at schools and stuff, or feeding or things like that. So, yes, the answer is yes. I get interrupted a lot in my walking, and I tell people if you want to have a conversation, that's fine, but I got to walk. Yeah. And then when I need a break, I'll sit down and talk with you. I said, but not all of them are in as good a shape to walk. Some are in worse shape to be. A lot of guys come over, they're not in very good shape. I'm not the worst shape American, believe it or not. But but yeah, I get a lot of people, and usually I do 10,000 steps, which is 8 times around the bottom or top floor, okay, from one end to the other. Right. And you could be able to do that if I had no interruptions. I should be able to do that 10,000 steps in an hour and a half. 2 hours.
How would you do that, like daily or?
4 or 5 times. Like when I leave you, I'm going to go meet somebody for lunch at Cafe Racer, okay, a couple friends. And then from Cafe Racer, if it's not raining, I'm going to go, even if it is, I'll go to the mall and I'll walk the mall. Right. I don't like walking in the afternoon because they actually open at 9 a.m. only for the market. but you can walk inside the mall. They all know me. I know all the guards there, okay? So they know I don't go to the market. I come in at 9 a.m., and it's not open to the public till 10. So they let me in at 9, and they let employees in at 9, so I get to go in with the employees.
Oh, so you can go undisturbed.
So I go undisturbed at 9. I get my most walking done in the first hour and a half, okay? I can almost finish. I get about 8,000 steps in before I start getting interrupted.
Yeah.
But then I'm there for the next 2-3 hours because I have people constantly asking me questions or want to talk or chat. Or I meet people that want to come on the channel like you. And so, yes. So if you ever want to see me, typically you can text me. A lot of people say, are you walking today? People that live here, they'll say, that are foreigners, and they'll say, are you walking today? I say, yeah, I'll be there at 9. So, and I have people that meet me up there at 9, but why walk? If you're at 9, you're going to have to walk with me. Yeah. So
I do a lot of walking around the town.
Yeah, I know you do. You do a lot of walking. Yeah. All right, we covered a lot. Now, I'm not sure what happens with Joy, but we're going to get an update on Joy the next time you come.
Right.
And also
she's
on
a nice girl.
And also your current girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm going to say we need to cut this off because it's been an hour and a half at least.
Oh, is it? Right.
It's an hour and a half already. Yeah. So we need to have a part 2 because I don't think anybody's going to hang on this long. Okay,
no.
Hour and a half is a little long for an interview.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't like splitting them up. I don't think my viewers like splitting them up either. So I put the whole thing out.
Feel free to edit it. That's what I was going to say.
Nothing to edit. It's just I don't edit that much other than to put in an intro, outro, and maybe I might put in for the ebook. But other than editing, I don't do much unless I said something wrong and I might correct my words or cut something out.
But that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm a quiet guy. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't look for drama, but it finds me.
Yes, it does. Well, we'll hear if you're available. And you're not. I mean, you're younger. Okay, you're not 70. Okay, there's a lot of retired guys come here. They come here mostly from America and Canada, and they're not going to get money until they're over 65. Typically, they're going to come here at 68, 67, 68, where they're retired and they have an income without having to work.
Right.
Okay, but you're, I think you said you're 55? 55.
Yeah.
So, the girls have been looking for younger guys. Younger guys being in their 50s. They don't want 25 or 30-year-old guys. Okay, you come over here at 30, 35. They're not interested. Even though they're 25, they're not interested.
Is there such a thing as being too old?
No such thing.
No.
80-year-old guys can get girlfriends, and they do.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what's the weirdest part here, what people won't believe, but it is, if you're handicapped, you have more ability to find a girlfriend, multiple girlfriends, than if non-handicapped. Totally opposite for the West. So a person that uses a crutch, a wheelchair, missing a leg or an arm, or blind, even blind, find girlfriends faster because Filipinas is just their mindset. They want to help.
Right.
And that's why they use Filipinos a lot overseas to be nurses and caregivers, They want someone to take care of. They just want it. It's in their blood. It's just their nature.
Yeah.
So a person, I've known several people that are blind that come over here or they walk with a cane or they, right away, they find multiple girlfriends, no trouble, More so than a guy that's in healthy.
Right.
Believe it or not, it's just it's very weird. A little bit younger is best. 50s is best. 60s is okay. It does start slowing down over 70.
Right.
That's not impossible though for an 80-year-old to find a girlfriend. Believe it or not.
But in the States, you can get your pension or Social Security at 62, can't you?
You can take an early retirement currently at 62, which means you can take a cut in money. But if you want your full benefits, and it's quite a bit more, it adds up quite a bit. So it's quite a bit more if you wait till you're full. It depends on when you're born, because based on when you're born. So currently it's going to be roughly around 67 to 68.
Right.
When I was a kid, my dad could retire at 65 and get full benefits.
Right.
But I had to wait till I was 66 and a half. I'm 68 years old. So I had to wait till I was 66 and a half for full benefits. However, because I got hurt, I was on disability, and they give you full benefits if they approve you for disability. And I was disabled to work. So I actually got it early. And I'm not going to remember what age, but I'm going to say early 60. I wasn't like 63, 64 years old. I got and so it just carries over. It doesn't change. So I actually was able to get full benefits early, and I came over.
I suppose it's the unknown, Maybe that's why I cashed my pensions in.
Well, that's 55. The other thing. Some guys, if they work for Army, Navy, whatever, or certain jobs, government jobs of any type, they get pensions after 20 years. Okay? And government jobs are the best in the U.S. because they have the pension, the benefits, the medical, and all that. So in some cases, they give you full medical no matter where you are in the country. It doesn't matter if you're in the States or not. And the pensions could be more than your retirement. Then when they finally they'll come over and they're 60 or 55, 58, get their pension, live on that. And then when they finally reach 67, 68, they've just doubled their income.
Right.
All right. Too much said. Guys, we've gone too far. I have to thank you, Mac, for coming on.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. And we're going to have a following before you leave, okay?
A part 2. Yeah.
We have to have a part 2 to find out how it goes with the current girlfriend.
Yeah.
And if Joy disappeared or not.
Joy's the nice one.
I know.
The crazy one's the first
crazy
one.
One's gone. Okay.
Gone. Yeah.
I know.
But if there's any single guys, try and find Joy, the banana bread girl.
Banana bread girl.
She's very nice.
And is she cute?
Yeah, she's okay. She's a nice girl.
She's a nice girl, but she's cooking the banana bread at home, I take it.
I think her friend cooks a banana bread and she sells it on her little scooter around the
Whatever
town.
it takes, man. You have to do what you have to do here.
Yeah, she's a nice girl. So.
All right. And I'll see you tomorrow night at Sideways.
At Sideways, yeah.
As I bet you're going to be there.
I'm going for the pizza.
Sure you are. Okay, guys, signing out, and I'll just leave you with this.
That's my Goldfinger.
All right, guys, take care. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mac.
Bye.
Baby.
Thanks.
Bye-bye, guys.